Yo, what's going on, everybody? This video is sponsored by AOEAH.com. You can finally buy and sell items using the coupon code COMIC. Comically Bad was a little too long, so we just took COMIC. But it's a great website. Check it out in the link below. Yo, what it do, everybody? I'm gonna start this video off by quickly saying, if you want to help me out, feel free to add to the item shop, and you can now support me using code ComicallyBad in the item shop. I haven't uploaded a video for a while. There's been a couple reasons why. First, I upgraded my computer. I got a Intel i9 9900K, so yeah, changing your computer can be a pain, reinstalling Windows, all of that. So I've been dealing with that, but I had been streaming some, and so if you're wondering why I hadn't been recording, just kind of lack of motivation recently, because finals and school and work, it's just a lot. So I'm gonna be doing a pretty straightforward, simple video today. I figured I'd do a little Q&A, answer some questions from my YouTube as well as my Discord. If you're not a part of the Discord, the link is in the description below. But I get quite a few questions every day. Every time I stream, I tend to get like the same 5 questions. So I'm gonna do a short video just answering a bunch of these questions. So first question, asked almost in every video, every stream, what are my camera settings? Here are my camera settings. 110 FOV, 270 distance, 80 height, -5 angle, 0.5 stiffness, and 4.2 swivel speed, and 1 transition speed. These are camera settings that are kind of similar to Squishy's that I adapted and made my own. Not everyone may like my camera settings, and I think that camera settings are based off your opinion. So if you don't like the way my camera settings look, then you should make your own. Or if you have Baki's mod, you have this drop down where you can try out different pros and their camera settings they have. It's a great feature, and this is what I did when I was trying to find I don't know, a good mix of camera settings for myself. All right, so what other questions do we have? Oh my god, everyone's trolling. Okay, what mechanics can I do? I mean, I go through and show almost all the mechanics I do know how to do for the most part in my tutorial series. There's been more mechanics I've been trying to learn. I'm not amazing at double flip resets, things like that, but I am always working to try and get better at them. Another common question, how many hours do I have in the game? So on this account specifically, I have 1,900 hours, and then on my second account I have I can even check that. If I check my second account, I have 542 hours on my second account. So I have almost 2,500 hours in this game. Another common question, when did I start playing Rocket League? I started playing in season 3. I don't know when season 3 was. It feels like it was about 5 or 6 years ago. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe I can look that up and include a screenshot. But I have been playing since season 3. My friend, one of my IRL friends played this game, and I watched John Sandman and Woofles, whatever. And they kind of inspired me to start playing, and I played with my IRL friend, and within like the first season or 2 of playing, I hit champ. We played almost every day together for months, and he eventually kind of stopped playing and I started playing on my own. I found some teammates at the time and I wound up getting Grand Champ. My first season I got Grand Champ was season 7, and I think that was the first season where they required you to have the 10 wins to get your rewards, and I just hit Grand Champ. I didn't get the 10 wins, so I'm not 100% sure on that, but I remember hitting Grand Champ once and being so upset that I never got the GC title. Here's another question. What is better, the Dominus or the Octane? So I clearly use the Octane in almost every video, but what people don't realize is I can use whatever car and I really don't care. Let me go out to my cars. So these are my current car setups I have. So my troll car, this can be anything from the backfire to I literally use the scarab all the time. When I was getting good at this game, I actually mained the Merc. This was before it tracked how many wins you had, but yeah, I used to use the Merc all of the time. If you look back at like my first montages, I used the Merc in quite a few of the clips. I also enjoy the Ripper. There's different hitboxes and they change your gameplay just in the slightest bit, and it's so hard for me to even like tell the difference that I don't really care to use. Like any car I feel comfortable with, pretty much. The Scarab I feel comfortable with, the Backfire, the Merc. There's very minor differences, and so it's pretty much up to you and what you like. And I have a white Octane, so I use the white Octane. That's pretty much my reasoning behind using the Octane. I think that yes, sometimes flat cars can help with things like pinches and flicks because they're just longer, so you have a little bit more space, it feels like, I guess, mentally, to control your flick and, I don't know, go for better pinches. But it's completely just preference and what you like, what car you think looks cool, and I personally like the Octane, and so I tend to main the Octane. Have you ever thought about switching to controller? I actually have tried playing on controller so many times. Something that was always funny is I would go over to my friend's house and they would have like an Xbox set up with everyone playing on a controller, and they'd be like, "Oh, you're so good, you should play with us." And then I'm like, "But I play on keyboard and mouse." So I'm probably a bronze on controller. There was one night I was at my one friend's house, and she has an Xbox, and I was really determined to get better on controller, and I did learn how to air dribble for that one night, but I forgot which controls I had, and they were really weird. It was like drive forward and backward was like the left joystick. I didn't like using the triggers. It was really weird. So I do not like playing on controller, and I probably won't ever switch to controller. I do like the idea of having a controller and being able to sit back like on a couch and play across the room, but it is what it is. Oh my god, and here we have the notorious question. Chicken trolling by putting this in, probably. Wheels. Every single video, every single stream, people ask what wheels these are. I get why it's asked so often, because these wheels don't exist in the game. Let me see real quick if you can see. Yes, you can see my Bakis mod. These are black Infiniums. They only exist on Bakis mod. You cannot get these actually in the game. If you look on like any price There's RL Price Checker, RL Insider, I think it's called. You'll find that these wheels do not exist. I use them with Baki's mod. And yes, I really think Baki's mod is helpful. No, it is not available on Epic Games yet. I thought they were planning on making support for Epic Games and it was going to happen very quickly. But I don't have any contact with anyone at Baki's mod, so I have no clue what their plans are. If anyone's curious what my car really is, I use the white Octane. I have a black Interstellar, and then these are my colors I use. My wheels, of course, I have white Infiniums that are actually on, but I use the black Infiniums with Baki's mod. I use titanium white glitch boost, but I use alpha boost with Baki's mod. And then I always wear the tiara. You gotta rep the tiara. I do have a beta nugget, Dueling Dragons, titanium white EQ. That's really dope. And then I just use the default car sound unless I'm trolling, and I use something like the RC car or something. All right, let's go on to more questions. Does hitbox really matter? I feel like I just talked about that with the cars. I don't really think it makes that big of a difference. Some people are very picky about it. I myself don't really care. I stick to the Octane, and if I'm screwing around and I don't know, just trying to mess around in game, then I'll switch to like a Scarab. But it's just preference, really. Hitbox, it makes the very slightest of difference in your gameplay. Here's another commonly asked question: what other games do I play? Well, my first series on my channel was of a horror game, Visage or Visage. I'm not really quite sure how you pronounce it, but that was a game I really enjoyed. Besides that, I play Minecraft, so I just started playing on a Skyblock server again. I haven't uploaded any videos with that, but I used to play RL Craft a lot. I do have a pretty long series on there. I have since kind of stopped playing RL Craft because it got so complicated that I was lost, and those videos I would spend hours. I really enjoyed playing it. I would spend like 3 hours playing it, but the editing process on those is really hard. If you don't know, I edit my own videos, so it's really tough to record like 2-hour videos and then edit them into something that's like 20 to 30 minutes. Besides that, yeah, I have my Skyblock, or not, well, yeah, I have the One Block Skyblock series, which is going on right now. I used to play a bunch of VR games. I really do like Beat Saber, but I actually just sold my Oculus Rift I had. I sold it because I wanted the Oculus Rift S, which didn't need the sensors, but I kind of financially can't afford it right now, so I haven't been able to buy a new Oculus. But yeah, majority of the other games I did play were on VR. I played Beat Saber, some of their horror games, a lot of the other fun like music kind of games. What else? I mean, I got Warzone, and I played that for a solid day, and I did enjoy it. I got a win, and I haven't really played it since. And especially with my new PC upgrade, I had to wipe that hard drive, and I don't want to reinstall it because it's like fucking 150 gigabytes or whatever. And yeah, so I just haven't reinstalled that. I used to play Fortnite. I think on my Twitch at least I have a ton of clips from when I used to play Fortnite, but once building became the meta, I stopped playing that game because I don't like competitive games, and it's kind of weird to say that when I play Rocket League competitively, but I don't like competitive stuff. I think I don't know, it's not too fun for me. And shooting games I'm not very good at because my aim isn't amazing. I grew up playing like Modern Warfare 2, World at War, and then like Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2. Those were like the games I played before starting. Minecraft was like my first PC game, and then I always played like horror games like Amnesia, Visage, and then I got into Rocket League eventually. Let's go on to more questions. This is just kind of a troll one. Will Cyrax ever get his Discord title back? I don't know. He will have to beat me in a best of 5 or best of 7 or something, because he beat me and he had the I Beat Comically Bad title, but then kind of fell through when I beat him in a best of 5. We even played on like East Asia servers and I had 250 ping and I still beat him by like 5 goals. So Cyrax, I don't know, man. You'll get that title back if you beat me. The questions right now are just kind of troll. Will you ever hold a tournament for us? I do the tournaments, of course, when I stream sometimes, but I know people kind of want me to do Discord specific tournaments. It's something I've thought of doing. The problem with tournaments is they can take so long, and I have such a vast I don't know, like I have people on my Discord from all over the world, because if you go, I have more customization. I think it's a more customization where you can set your region. I have literally people from every single region in the world, and so it's really hard to host a tournament for all of these people when they want their own servers, of course. So if I were to just do NA East, that only accommodates for like 1/5 of my Discord, and there's such a wide span of ranks in the server as well. I think we have like a lot of golds, a lot of plats, some diamonds, and then we have a few higher up GCs like Cyrax. So it's kind of just hard to do a tournament for fun when, I don't know, it's just it seems difficult, at least in my mind, but maybe it's not, and I just need to give it a try. So I'm gonna switch over more to YouTube now and look at more of my YouTube comments. So this is another semi-common question, is how is my game so smooth? Well, I have a 1080 Ti and now a i9 9900K with 32 gigs of RAM, and I play at 1440p 144 hertz. So my YouTube videos that's a long story. I used to post a lot of videos at 1080p when I had my 1080p monitor, but if you don't get a lot of views, there's a whole like weird thing with YouTube. If you don't get a lot of views, your videos get compressed to shit with 1080p. So if you post to 2K, it forces YouTube to use the more advanced encoder, and so I got a 2K monitor basically to get rid of that issue, and I've loved it ever since. Here's a couple more questions. Do you focus more on the ball, or I'm assuming he's asking about ball cam or ball cam off? It's about 50-50. When I'm dribbling, I very commonly turn off ball cam. So if I were to set up like a dribble, I would turn off ball cam like this. And then maybe if I flick, whenever I say I need a flick, I don't flick. But if I were to go for like a flick, then I would turn ball cam back on until I get underneath it. I turn off ball cam when I'm going for boost. I kind of flick in between. I do something like this, kind of see where I'm going as well as watch the ball. That's a good question. Does anyone know the function of the Q key? Q is air roll left. Like I've always said and recommended, you should unbind shift from air roll because it makes harder mechanics harder to learn. I guess I should explain that. Why unbind shift? So if you air roll with shift and A to flip stall, you in the end still have to learn how to air roll with Q, because you'll have to flip stall by holding Q and D without shift. If you hold shift and do Q and D, it won't work because shift and D is air roll right, so you're not doing a right turn with a air roll left, and that's how you do flip stalls. And so it may sound very complicated, but basically you're clicking more buttons, or you're clicking the same amount of buttons, but you still have to learn Q or E, whichever one you prefer. You have to learn one way or the other without using shift. So that is why I unbound shift, and I think it's a good choice to do that. A lot of people looking at my air dribbling tutorials, they say I still don't get it. I'm just gonna make this very brief. Air dribbling is not easy, nor are flip resets, ceiling shots, things like that. That, like, people don't realize I've been playing this game for 5 or 6 years. It wasn't until like a year and a half in that I could do an air dribble that looked like this. That was like an air dribble after a year and a half of playing. Now that I'm like 5, 6 years in, I'm able to hold Q and spin the whole time. It takes so much practice, and people think it's something that I picked up like within a day, and it's definitely not. It took me a long time, and I don't think people realize that. And so that's something I want to address, and I guess I should have made it more more noticeable when I did the tutorials, and saying that, I mean, I tried my best to say that they were advanced mechanics, but people still believe that if they're like diamond or plat, they should be going for those. I would firmly say that maybe a high plat could go for aerials, but I think that air dribbles and ceiling shots and stuff like that, only diamonds and above should probably go for. That may start a lot of controversy, but it's just my own opinion. I think that there's some people that are lower ranked that can definitely air dribble very well, but those mechanics aren't necessarily gonna get you the highest rank. Here are a couple questions I'll combine into one. Is it okay to use the side mouse buttons for air roll? Is it okay to use spacebar for jump? A lot of comments like that. Whatever you're comfortable with. If you use your side mouse buttons for air roll and you're comfortable with it and can do mechanics that you want to do, then go for it. I think it's kind of confusing in my opinion, but if it makes sense for you, then you do whatever is best for you. Like spacebar for jump would be very weird for me, and I could not get used to that, but I know a lot of people are used to that because usually spacebars jump in other games, so I get it. Like, I'm just gonna say it's up to you, and if it's comfortable for you, then stick with it. What boost is that? Alpha boost, went over that. Camera settings, there, went over that. Okay. Another common question about the air dribble. I don't want to address too many of these because I know it's probably a lot of lower ranks, but when I'm trying to air dribble the ball, so basically he's saying that the car and the ball don't stick together when he's going off the wall. It's all about matching the ball's speed when you go off the wall. So each time you go for an air dribble, or I don't know, any aerial off the wall, you want to be matching the ball's speed. That's going to allow you to keep like a close distance between yourself and the ball in the air right off the wall. And it's, like I said, all about just keeping the speed of the ball and then once it's up on the wall, you jump along with the ball. It's a very short explanation, but I do a whole tutorial about it where you want to dribble up the wall, leave a little bit of space, and then you can jump off the wall. And if you maintain the same speed as the ball shouldn't go too far from you, because if I'm going way too fast, when I jump, I'd even jump off the wall there. You can see I just sent the ball flying. If I'm going too slow, I kind of have to catch back up to the ball. So it's just a matter of matching the ball speed. So this person asks, how exactly do you aerial while air rolling? It's another common question, and I'll simply say you don't have to aerial with air roll, if that makes sense. It is completely possible to air dribble without air roll. There's a lot of people who have set records of how long they could air dribble without using air roll. So to put this question simply, you don't need to air roll when you're going for an aerial. It's helpful in getting a better angle if you're trying to get like a specific angle on your shot, but learning air roll left and right is something that slowly comes with you learning how to aerial and air dribble and all those types of air mechanics. They come along with it. So you're probably going to start out simple by doing aerials that don't involve E and Q much, just like this, but that's okay. That's a good start, and when you get more used to it, then you'll start using Q and understanding when and where to use it. It's something that just kind of comes naturally after a while, and you kind of have to learn yourself when to use it. Someone asked, did I did I buy my titanium white Octane? Yes, I got it from, funny enough, that comments on a video with Sean. I bought it from Sean. He's the one who got it. Do you have a creator code? Yes, now I do. Who is Sean? I'm clearly getting back to videos where I was playing with Sean. Sean is a very good player. Sean and Trey, they were my teammates I had for quite a while. Sean now is on a CRL team doing very well. He is very high ranked in the game. He has been top, I think he's been top 50 before in ones and twos, maybe threes. Don't quote me on it, but, or at least top 100 in twos and threes. I know he did very well one season in ones. Sean is just a very skilled player, and I've met up with Sean and Trey, and they're both very funny people. Gotta love Sean and Trey, man. All right, so I have questions about making air roll tutorials. I don't really want to make specific tutorials for air rolling. I mean, I kind of have in my freestyle and what is it? It's like my freestyle tutorial. I talk a lot about how to get comfortable with using air roll, and air roll, like I just said, is something that you grow to become more familiar with on your own, and it's not like I can really teach you how to use it. You kind of have to adapt and figure it out on your own. All right, here's a great question. When do you recommend learning air dribbles? Also, congrats on 5K. I recommend learning air dribbles, like I said, around diamond. Like, I would say air dribbles are more of a high plat to medium diamond, because that's when I myself have seen people start to air dribble. There's people that do start lower rank than that, yeah, but I think more consistently you see it in a rank like diamond. So I would recommend learning it maybe around diamond. All right, I'm scrolling really far down here. I'm quite a ways into my comment section, but yeah, another question kind of about aerials, air dribbles. What fingers do I use when I am aerialing? So my middle finger controls W and S, and my ring finger controls Q and A, and I'm not really comfortable with ever using E. If you ever see me use E during my video, it's very rare. I just feel uncomfortable clicking it, so I usually use my pointer finger only for D. So usually when I'm air rolling, it's mainly my pointer finger and my ring finger holding Q and D, and then my middle finger goes in between S and W. That sounds wrong saying that, but that is how I normally go for my aerials. I wouldn't make it, I don't know, just try and keep like maybe 2 buttons per finger, because if you're doing 3 buttons with 1 finger, that's quite a lot, and that's kind of hard to learn muscle memory for that. So keep it to maybe 2 buttons per finger, if not just 1. Like I use my pinky just for shift, that's it. Shift or control. Okay, this is a comments that or I didn't even find it in my comments, but I just thought about it because I see it every freaking day now when I stream. I have no idea why so many people have been asking this. I really can't explain it, but so many people are asking about speed flipping, and I have made a speed flip tutorial. It's called how to pass Linkaroo's level 30, because it requires you to learn the speed flip and how Linkaroo did his speed flip, because you have to catch up to that ball, and it's so hard. And everyone, I show off how to speed flip, and people will tell me that I'm not doing it right. And I'm like, then how is it working for that Linkaroo level 30? Because that video is one of my top videos. A speed flip is simply diagonal flipping and then holding S and kind of like re-rotating your car with E afterwards. So this is one of the rare scenarios I will actually hit E, but you just diagonal flip, hold S, and then hold E afterwards to kind of re-stabilize your car. I have no idea why so many people are asking about this, but it's like an everyday thing now. You should not speed flip throughout your entire game. If you're doing this like every game all the time, it's a bad habit, because speed flipping can be helpful sometimes, but you're gonna get weird hits on the ball like I'm doing now. And it's also a major waste of boost. It's so much better to just chain wave dashes, and you'll conserve more boost, and you'll probably get to a faster speed doing this than speed flipping. I can't explain why so many people have been asking about that, but I get at least like 5 people stream asking. Another common thing as a keyboard and mouse player I get, of course, is how the heck do I play on keyboard and mouse? It's as simple as I started playing on keyboard and mouse and I kept up with it. If I started playing on controller, I'm sure I would be a little... I wouldn't be better. I'm sure I would be at like the same skill level had I started on controller, but I'm used to PC games and using keyboard and mouse. I didn't even know controller was like what most people used in this game. And so a common question I get, well, not even a question, people will say I'm the best keyboard and mouse player. I really want to say that is not true. I appreciate the people who think I am, but please look up Evample, and if you do, let him know that I sent him. Evample is by far one of the best keyboard and mouse players. Yukio also is actually a pro. People often say it's so nice to watch a pro. I am not a pro, and I want to get that out of the way. am just a grand champ. I didn't have nearly enough time last season to even push for SSL. I wanted to, but it's like I said earlier in this video, I'm not a very competitive person, and so grinding all day for Supersonic Legend just isn't fun for me. And I tried to go pro. Well, I tried to play on my college team, but they are super competitive and said that like they only take people who are like 2300 MMR, which I asked them to prove that they were even that MMR and no one would respond. So I highly doubt they're even that MMR, but that's what they said. So I don't know. Evample is a lot better. I appreciate it, and I do like to think I do a decent job with the tutorials, and not many other keyboard mouse players do tutorials. But Evample is definitely higher skill, better mechanics, so much better mechanics than I will ever have. So definitely check out Evample. Okay. I'm probably going to end off with this comment. This is one that arose in one of my other videos. I had no idea what this did before, but I do finally know now. Keyboard aerial safety. I didn't know what it did at the time, but if you're holding W and jump, you see how I'm not leaning forward? It's very weird, and I recommend you turn it off. A lot of people, I didn't know what it did, and so a lot of people were telling me what it did afterwards and asking if they should leave it on or off. I definitely recommend turning it off, because now that I know what it does, this can be really bad and create bad habits. Because if you're, I don't know, if you're trying to dribble while holding W, like I would be so used to doing this, but you have to like double tap to start. I don't know, I didn't even recognize it, because usually I tap W and S so fast that I'm getting my first tap out of the way. So if you just hold down W, you won't rotate forward, but I usually tap W so fast that I didn't even recognize what it was doing. But I do recommend turning it off, and I think that it's terrible that they made it a default to turn on. I feel like I've answered quite a lot of questions. A lot of the other questions are kind of the same, and I don't want to go on forever. I've already been recording for quite a while. I'm gonna do more of these, so if you have more questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section, and I can do another video like this soon. Hopefully I was able to answer some questions, and I don't know, hopefully there'll be more questions I can answer and hopefully help out with. I appreciate everyone who was in the Discord asking me questions. So if you're not in the Discord, please feel free to join. We are always looking for new members, and it's a good way to get in touch with me if you actually have questions as well. Like I said, my YouTube comments, I went through a lot of the YouTube comments. So either method works. If you like this video, feel free to leave it a like. If you like my content, feel free to subscribe. I appreciate you all. Thank you for all the support, all the questions. I'm always happy to try and help out. And with that said, I will catch you guys in the next video.